Hey guys, there's a couple of things that I want to cover in this video, in this dramatically titled video. Number one, the channel name is changing, so stay tuned for that. And I want to shift how this channel is supported financially. And I think I've found a way that kind of works better for everybody, myself included, and you guys. And it's around that time where it's been a couple of years since I've done a big update on my coloring courses, and I thought instead of having just paid courses support the YouTube channel, what if we just do that on YouTube? Just make it free for everybody. Like, I think I know a way we can get there, and that's what I want to talk about in this video. And if this is your first time watching this channel, which it's probably not, given the title and the type of video this is, but my name is K. Michael Russell. I'm a comic book colorist, and I've been making digital coloring tutorials on YouTube since 2013. I've been working as a professional colorist for many years. But there's a couple of things I kind of want to explain in this video before I get into some of the new details. I think once you guys have context, you'll understand it a lot better. And this is an important video for this channel, so I hope you'll hear me out. But in December of 2018, I quit my day job, finally, and to just focus on coloring and teaching coloring online. This channel originally started just as a hobby, and the channel kind of tagline or slogan or whatever at the time was just how I color comics. And it was called How I Color because I didn't even want to come across as like an authority figure, on this is how you do this, kids. And I didn't want that because like I'm still learning about how this stuff works. So I just thought I'm learning some cool stuff, and I want to, tell people and show people and maybe help somebody else out so they don't have to go through all the things that I did trying to learn how to color for comics especially. But as I keep learning new things, I bring them to the channel. I'm pretty terrible at holding on to like secrets and tricks and things. I'm just like, oh, I have to tell my people like immediately. And that's kind of what this channel has been, is just, I learned stuff and I put it out there. I never put a ton of thought into that original name because, again, it didn't start off as a business. I never thought it would be a business. So the original name, K. Michael Russell, it was sort of like my pen name or pseudonym, whatever you want to call it, because my full name is Kurt Michael Russell. So my first and last name is Kurt Russell. Okay, so if you're not familiar, he's a super famous actor, and you really can't search for Kurt Russell and find me. So really the only thought I think I had was, well, I'm a big J. Scott Campbell fan, and he's like famous and it works, and I don't know what people call him, but if there can be a J. Scott Campbell, surely there can be a K. Michael Russell. Not thinking that J in and of itself is actually also a complete name for a guy. The channel name was K. Michael Russell, and I kind of rolled with it. But it's a little confusing. Like, I realized over the years, people don't really know what to call me. So like, I'll get, is it K? Is it Michael? Is it K. Michael? I get a lot of Mr. Russell in the comments. And when it first started happening, I thought, well, that's very nice. I grew up in the South, Mr. and Mrs. and all that. And so that's a very respectful thing, Mr. Russell. And then I realized that no, they don't know what to call me, and so they're just avoiding it. They don't know what my first name is. So Mr. Russell or Professor Russell, And so it wasn't a respect thing. I think maybe it is for some, but it was more of a, we don't know what else to call you. We'll just call you by your last name. So I got to thinking about a new name, and I realized that you guys are learning color with me. I'm still learning a lot. I've learned a ton over the last year, especially the last couple of months. I've been studying it like it's my job because, well, it is my job now, and I finally have time to really dive in. I've got tons of cool ideas for new videos and new series and things coming up. And I thought, well, what's a good name? They're learning to color with me, and so the new title is going to be Color with Kurt. Like, nice and alliterative. Is that the right way to say that? Alliterative? It's alliteration. Anyway. It's short and simple. It's easier. Where did you learn to color? Oh, well, I learned from K. Michael Russell on YouTube. I'm sorry, was that Carmichael? What? Or where did you learn to color on YouTube? Color with Kurt with a K. Make sure it's got a K. So anyway, that will change sometime around when this video comes out. I haven't decided exactly yet, but shortly after this video is out, probably immediately after this video is out, the name will change. And I will keep the icon the same, at least for now, just to help ease the transition. People will see the orange and black face and think, okay, well, maybe they'll realize that's me. Now, the second thing I want to talk about, and this is kind of a big thing with lots of components, and I don't really know where to start. So I'm just going to go, and hopefully it's not too rambly. In order for you guys to understand kind of what I would like, the vision I have for what I would like to do, it helps to have a little bit of background, because I think there's a lot of confusion about how YouTubers make money and how much money there is, and financing is not something that a lot of channels talk about unless your channel is about that making money on YouTube. This channel has always been supported. The time that it takes for me to make videos and continue to pay bills has always been supported by paid courses that are outside of YouTube. And this isn't going to be like a course pitch, I promise. And there might be some people watching this saying, you know, why is he selling this stuff? You know, he makes money off the ads revenue already, and he's just being greedy or something. And I want to kind of put this in perspective. And you can look this up yourself on socialblade.com, and I'll put a link in the description to that. But in order to get ad revenue from YouTube, like in a significant amount, or enough to like live off of, you got to get a lot of views. Okay, like not a couple thousand, but like hundreds of thousands, millions of views in order to generate, you know, just from the ad revenue, not counting things outside of YouTube. Just the ad revenue for this channel, I don't know how much, YouTube has rules about what I can and can't say. I think I can say that I couldn't pay my cell phone bill, okay, with the money that this channel generates every month. That's an important thing to understand. This channel has always been supported by things that are outside of YouTube. And it really is a good way for small channels like mine to support themselves, is to, you know, Patreon and sell things outside of YouTube. But there's a huge difference in the scale of YouTube channels. You know, it's like, as of right now, I've got about 1.7 million views in total, okay? Like over 200 videos in 6 or 7 years, and it's about 1.7 million as of this recording. One of my favorite YouTubers, MKBHD, is a tech reviewer and super awesome channel, and one of my favorite channels. You know, he'll do that in like a day, you know, or like a couple of hours on some videos. And so the courses have kind of acted as a middleman, where, well, I'm the guy in the middle also. But, you know, a small percentage of the people go buy something, and that supports the time that it takes me to keep making videos. And what I would like to do is like cut out that part, like do all of my coolest stuff and all the best tutorials and things that usually end up behind a paywall, do that free on YouTube. And there's a lot of channels that operate this way. You know, they're heavily supported by, you know, Patreon or whatever. And I would like to try to get to that point, you know, and it's not going to happen overnight, but I've come up with a couple of things that you guys have asked for over the years, and some things that I've been doing on a small scale for my students and anyway, you know, students in my courses anyway, at least in some of the courses. And I want to scale that up and open it up to everybody here. And this kind of kills a couple of birds with one stone, because one of the things that I want to do is do a better job of creating a community around this channel that, you know, that actually communicates and helps each other and talks and discusses things. And 34,000 subscribers, that's a lot of people. Like, that's like a stadium worth of people, but it doesn't really feel like a group, you know. And not every channel necessarily has to have one of those. But we're in such a small little niche here that I think I can do a lot better job of helping to bring people together to discuss this stuff and talk about techniques and encourage each other and support each other. So here's what I've got. Here's my idea. So I've created a Discord. So like, if you're not familiar with Discord, if you're old like me, it's kind of like, remember AOL chat rooms, like AIM chat rooms? It's like that, except way better. YouTube has activated a feature called memberships that I've turned on now right before I put this video up. If you're a member on YouTube, if you're one of the patrons, or if you're a Twitch subscriber, then you'll get full access to this private Discord. All the channels, because within the Discord there's multiple different areas, you know, for things like technical questions and feedback, and there's a job board if I come across, you know, coloring gigs and things on the internet. Myself and the other students there will also post things there, and I've kind of been building this community kind of behind the scenes for the last couple of months with some students from my courses, some patrons and whatnot that we're already talking during the week usually, and talking on Twitch every week. And it's a small group right now, but I'm really liking where it's heading, you know, and I'm seeing people help each other and give each other feedback. And I'm not the only, you know, pro colorist in there. There's other colorists in there that are also answering questions and giving feedback and those kind of things. And that's one thing that I hear more than anything that people want to see. They want to see be able to get feedback on their work because they can't make it to a convention, or it's impossible where they live, or they don't have conventions where they live and things like that. The Discord is kind of acting as the trunk of all these different little things that I have going on to help support this channel. And even if you're not a paid member, there are channels that are public in the Discord, and there are rules and things you'll need to follow, but I'll link all that stuff in the description if you want to check it out. But for full access, like I said, either subscribe to YouTube as a member, or join the channel as a member, patron, or the Twitch sub. Any of those will get you access to all the channels in the Discord. I'm also going to be doing, for these members, live classes every month, at least two, probably two. We're going to do one in the morning my time, one in the evening my time, so that hopefully, I think we cover like the whole globe with those 2 times, or I'm sure there's probably one place in the world that we didn't overlap well. I want to hit as many places as we can in both of these classes, so we'll probably do one in the morning and one in the evening. And these are going to be exclusive streams just for members, so I want them to really not be my usual, kind of thing I do on Twitch every week. And as of now, and this might change, because I kind of want you guys to help me build this together, but there's 4 different things that I think we can do in those live classes that you guys have been asking for. And keep in mind, like, the channel is going to keep making videos. You don't have to be a member of the channel to watch the videos. I don't want to make that clear. This is strictly an additional perk if you're interested, and also, helping to support the channel, keep making free videos. But as far as the live classes go, number 1, having like a coloring book club, I guess. I don't know if I'm going to officially call it that yet, but what I'd like to do is we'll probably do a poll, and I'll give you guys a couple of options, and we'll pick a book, like pick a comic book, and actually go through that together. We'll pull some pages and discuss the techniques that are being used, from a storytelling standpoint, and from a technical standpoint, and from a color theory standpoint, all those different areas. For those days where you look at a book and you're like, how on earth did they do that? Like, we can try to figure it out. We'll do one focused on critiques and feedback and things like that, because that's something I keep hearing is kind of the number 1 request. So we'll probably dedicate an hour of those classes to doing that, because it's a great way to learn, even if it's not your work. Like, you're going to see things you might also be doing, be like, oh, well, I need to keep doing this, or I need to stop doing that. We'll also do kind of like just a grab bag Q&A kind of thing, where we'll probably just take questions based on, whatever anybody's interested in learning that day, and keep that very open-ended, or if I come across some, new ideas or new tech and I want to kind of test it out somewhere, then it'd be a good place to do that in those classes. Like, I've got an Oculus Rift S now, and been playing around with Tilt Brush, and I've got some cool ideas for implementing that into the videos, and that's something we can kind of play around with. And the one thing that's been requested a lot, and I'm honestly not sure how well it'll work, but I at least want to try it out once, is to do like a color along, where I'll send you guys or have a file available for you to download. Make sure it's already flatted, so you don't have to worry about wasting time flatting, and then just kind of go through it together, step by step. But this would kind of be a thing where I would try something and show you guys a technique, and then you guys can follow along, and I'll give you a couple of minutes and talk about other things before we move on to the next step, so that if you do want to follow along, kind of like a proper art class, then that'll be an option for you, something else that you can do there. So those are all of kind of like the positive things and perks that you could get. For those of you wondering, well, what does this do for you? Like, what's the sinister underlying plan for this new membership? Honestly, here's the thing. I just want to make videos, okay? I want to make coloring videos. I like talking about it. I like teaching it. I like seeing all the little light bulbs go off in your heads that you email me about and text me about, and not text me, comment, whatever. That's my favorite part, okay? And right now, the hierarchy of like my schedule goes, number 1, do I have any pages in? Do I have like a book that I'm coloring that has a deadline that I need to work on? That comes first always, because that's usually for someone else or for another company or something. So, and second is all the time that I use to make videos. And this involves, writing and scripting out and recording and editing and marketing and social media, and all that stuff's me. Like, there's no other people behind the scenes here. The whole company is me right now, and will be for the foreseeable future. So when you consider the fact that about half of those videos end up behind a paywall that not everyone gets to see, but what if the newest, iteration, version 3.0, I guess this would be, of like my flagship coloring course, what if we just did that on YouTube? you know, and this won't be an overnight thing. I know that. I actually have a course right now I'm working on skin tones that's happening regardless of what happens with this new stuff. So I don't know, like, is this something that can work? I mean, I know there are other channels that do this, a lot of channels, you know, some of my favorites like noclip, they make gaming documentaries, heavily supported, just a couple dollars at a time, you know, on Patreon. And Piximperfect, another channel that I'm a big fan of. So instead of me spending, you know, half of all that time making all those videos that only a small percentage of people will get to enjoy and get to learn from, that's the kind of thing that I would just love to do all this stuff for free on YouTube for everybody. But there are things like mortgages that exist. So, and let me know if I've forgotten something. I feel like I'm way too close to this situation, and I've looked at this script for this video, not really a script, but my bullet points here, and I'm like, man, I'm missing something. Like, so I hope I'm not. But if there is, you know, leave a comment below. I'll be happy to explain if I need to explain this any further. And regardless of whether you've ever supported this channel, you know, by buying something, you can also support this channel other ways. Just sharing videos and telling your friends about it and retweeting tweets and hitting all the stupid buttons on YouTube, the bells and thumbs and everything. Like, all that stuff helps, and it all contributes. So I don't want anyone to feel obligated, because, you know, there's places in the world that even trying to come up with $5 a month to support a video or a channel you like is impossible because of inflation rates and exchange rates and those kind of things. And that's kind of why I would love to paywall less stuff and just have it all out in the open. But you guys have created this position for me here. As I said in a video a couple of months ago, when I finally went full time, I'll link that. You guys can go back and watch it if you haven't. So anyway, I'm gonna keep making the best possible videos that I can. That's never changed, and none of this is gonna change any of that. And I know some people have asked, like, why aren't I doing more videos now that I'm full time? Hopefully this helps you understand a little bit better why. But I'm also trying to plan videos better and like script them a little bit tighter, and trying to keep the length down and do all the things that a YouTuber should be doing that I haven't been doing over the last 5 or 6 years. I took a YouTube class recently, and it was sort of, I was almost embarrassed at all the dumb things that I was doing, because it'd be like, well, number one, do this. I'm like, well, I was doing the opposite. It's like, and make sure you never do this. Oh, I do that all the time, you know? So it's kind of amazing that this channel has grown to where it is. But if you look at the numbers, it's been pretty flat for a long time. So I was like, I wanted to, you know, you want to blame the algorithm like a lot of channels want to do. It's not. I just didn't know how to make videos. So I'm trying to make better videos now, and I hope you guys are seeing that. And I will keep doing that. I appreciate the support, however it comes. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Take care.